All right, all right. We are going to kick off this VA readiness workshop, VA as in virtual assistants. We are all about helping virtual assistants get more client ready so that they can be more successful as independent business owners, as well as service providers to business owners who need the support that they are absolutely skilled and ready to provide. So on today's workshop with Virtual Assist, we're coming to you with what to put in your portfolio, your digital portfolio, what to include in your virtual assistant portfolio. Let's go. I'm Tajuanna Taylor, your host for this virtual assistant client readiness workshop with the company Virtual Assist, powered by Bootstrap Dreams. Let's get to it. Now, we've been helping virtual assistants get client ready and attain amazing opportunities, short-term as well as long-term opportunities with independent business owners, small business owners who are tired of doing it all themselves. They have finally gotten to the place to where they say, you know what? I'm over it. I need help. And as bootstrapped as they might feel, they recognize that they can't afford not to get help. And so we come in and we help them get matched with the best possible virtual assistants for their business. Our virtual assistants, most of them are outside of the US, the United States of America. That's no barrier. What that means is these virtual assistants, regardless of their time zone difference, are able to serve you in a way that works best for you and for your company. And together, you all experience reciprocity because the virtual assistant gets great joy, great fulfillment, and has the flexibility he or she needs to succeed as an individual, as a family member, as a contributor to society. So we absolutely love, and we know this is mission-based work to help you, small business owners, partner with virtual assistants to get all of the amazing things done that must be done, but don't have to be done by you in your business. So again, today's workshop is about what to include in the virtual assistant portfolio. So if you're saying, hey, I'm a small business owner, why in the world do I need to listen to this workshop? Well, these are great things that you could be looking for as you seek to bring on a virtual assistant in your business. And for the virtual assistant, whether you are local to the United States or you are international, meaning you are somewhere else on the other side of the pond or the globe, this is for you because you need to be more client ready. The right opportunities come all the time, but not every opportunity is for you. Which opportunities are for you? Well, you'll be able to make a better informed decision for yourself as you equip yourself as a virtual assistant and empower yourself as an independent business professional and business owner to know what you are and aren't able to do, what you do and don't want to do, what you can and what you won't do, right? For the clients that you are seeking to serve. So when we think about a digital portfolio, a cover page, that sounds so simple, but it's not always remembered. This is a virtual lookbook. This is the same way we like things to be aesthetically pleasing, whether it's on our physical body or when we're trolling the net, right? We are on these social media platforms and we are checking them out and we are looking. The ones that catch our eye are the ones that are aesthetically pleasing, are the one that has a great cover photo or a great cover song or a great caption. Make sure your digital portfolio has a cover on it that will invite the client or the brand, whomever it is you're seeking to work with, that will invite them in to want to see more. Flip that digital page. The next thing you want is an introductory or summary. So on that cover page, what should be on there? The normal, the basics, the demographic things, your name, first and last name. Perhaps you have a nickname that you'd like to be called. Maybe your email address, perhaps a website URL if you have one, or you might have something like a social media handle. You might have a one pager that you like to drive people to, right? Funnel people to where they can access multiple things about you. An example of that would be Linktree, right? There's so many of those tools out there. Linktree is one that we absolutely love and use. And so just throwing that one out there for you, not an ad. Okay. So name and contact information, perhaps a picture, maybe a cool quote from a client, a satisfied client, or something that you believe, a core value to you as it pertains to how you serve. But keep that cover page crisp and concise and just not cluttered, okay? Because we want them to see and be interested in flipping that digital page. So cover page. The introductory summary, we had ran right on into it, so we're coming back to it now. The introductory and summary. This is why I have notes, because I get excited and I'll zoom on through. Introduction or summary. This is where you would give a little bit about you. This is where you can share more about the success that you provide to the customers, the clients, the brands that you are seeking to serve. What is the short paragraph that tells who you are, your background, your professional background, and what you bring to the table? In a resume, this might be defined as the career objective. Now, whether or not that's still relevant, it just depends on your industry. Have it and not need it, then need it and not have it. That's what I believe. So your introductory summary can follow on that page after your cover page, and then your resume. If you are seeking clients in the United States, in Western culture, a resume is the absolute common form of content that you can have prepared that will likely be sought after. So go ahead and draft one up. But it's one that you can have prepared that will give a snapshot of what you have accomplished in your career thus far. So yes, it will have your name. It typically will have your immediate contact, your direct contact information. It will have, perhaps a short summary or an objective, and it will list positions, opportunities that you have held, that you have fulfilled, whether they are short-term or long-term, depending on the opportunity you're applying for, will drive whether or not you want to add it to this list. But you're not going to put just tasks, because listen, with virtual assist, when we match you to clients, we're not just looking for task masters. We're looking for innovators. We're looking for strategic planners. We're looking for consultants. We're looking for professionals who don't mind speaking up and sharing an opinion when asked, when invited, interjecting when you see that there's a better possible outcome, right? Making suggestions. So don't just put answered phones. Okay, well, if you speak any language, you could probably answer a phone. How many phone calls did you answer the day? How many customer service inquiries did you resolve? How many conflicts did you have to, right, de-escalate? What did you do? How many graphics did you put out? How many impressions, depending on the platform, did those graphics achieve? How much reach did that reel make? How many views did that TikTok get? Numerical data on your resume is going to speak a lot more than you just saying what you did. We are not mediocre here. We are professionals. You might be new as a virtual assistant, but you are not new to your career. You are not new to handling business. You are not new to respect and representation and providing results for others. So make sure you have a data-driven as well as a qualitative resume, okay? On that resume, if you have any form of education, let's include that. You do not need to include the year. We should not discriminate based on race, creed, culture, gender, any of those things, age. However, it's a human notion that when people see a year, they may say, oh, too old, oh, too young, oh, not enough experience, so on and so forth. So don't put the year on your resume if you can help it. You can always articulate that in the interview when invited to do so. What's more important is that you have, that area of expertise, or that you're working to complete that area of expertise. Put that information on there, but the year, leave it out. If it's in progress, you can put in progress, or to be completed, in the next spring, next fall, or whatnot. But if it's something you've already completed, you're done, you have moved on, you're building on other skills now, don't worry about the year, okay? Unless it's something that's absolutely essential to your specific career. Skills. If you have any particular skills, if there are any software or tools that you specialize in, these are things that you are absolutely going to want to add onto that resume. So whether it's project management tools, whether it's graphic design tools, whether it's IT tools, right? You might be building an app of some kind and there's a certain platform, website building tools, finance tools, anything you use, email tools, any tracking tools, anything you use, and you are proficient at it, you know it. It's for communication, it's for tracking results, it's for putting in tickets for conflict resolution, it is for, hey, doing the job, right? You want to put those down under your skills section. So that way, again, the business owner who's seeking to work with you can look at that and say, wow, they have exactly what I need. Or wow, they're close in the arena. That's not the tool I use, but it does a similar, if not the same thing. So I know they'll be able to work with me with the tool that I'm subscribed to already. Break down the barriers, help them make a yes more quickly because they're able to see and know what it is that you provide and what you offer. So skills are so important on that resume. Now, those are tactical skills. There may be some soft skills that you have, like customer service, encouragement, being able to train and facilitate, being able to get maybe the disgruntled teammate on board, right? There may be some skills that you can't quite put a thumb on it, but you're able to do it. You can share those skills, Google them, chat GPT them, get a list, pull those words and acronyms down and apply them to your gifts and your skills so that you can articulate much more clearly, much more strongly, and much more readily who you are and what it is that you are capable to provide as a virtual assistant, okay? And then certificates and awards. Certificates and awards are also very helpful to list on your resume because, again, they help an external person get an inside look into who you are, into what you're capable of accomplishing, into what you've already accomplished. Again, you might be new as a virtual assistant, but you are not new to business. And so you can have that listed there so that they can readily see, wow, this person is making amazing strides. Wow, this person is impactful. Wow, this person is absolutely transforming the nature of business in whatever industry it is. So go ahead and put your certificates, go ahead and put your awards on your resume. So that is another page or pages, depending on your years of experience or depending on your industry. Thank you for the pause. The industry that you are in as it comes to being a virtual assistant, and not just a virtual assistant, a professional in general. Okay. Now, here's where the digital portfolio gets really, really, really impactful. Are you ready? Awesome. I'm so glad that you are ready. Here is where the digital portfolio gets really impactful. Work samples. There are work samples that absolutely are essential to having a strong digital portfolio. Okay. Absolutely essential to establishing a strong digital portfolio. Those work samples are going to be descriptions. They're going to be visual, written, maybe even audible descriptions of what you do and who you have done it for. If you have to redact that information out, that's totally okay. Yet you can use existing expertise and experience to include to help again a business owner, a potential client, a brand that you're choosing to work with to help them say, wow, they're not just interested in doing this. They're not just trying to accomplish this. These are results that they have already provided. And so if they did it for that business or that business owner, they can totally do it for me too. So work samples, again, they may be visual, like a graphic. It may be a redacted work sample, perhaps like a writing that you've done to a customer facing, right, for a client. So you would redact that customer's information, but the body perhaps of the writing is something that can be included in your resume, or I mean, excuse me, in your digital portfolio. You could do a audio, right? Maybe it might be a voiceover. Maybe it's a brief snippet of a recorded call. Maybe it is a self-introduction. We absolutely require self-introductions of virtual assistants, as well as for the business owners who are seeking to partner with the virtual assistants in our network. Why? It breaks down barriers. One of the number one questions that we get is, what if they don't speak English? Let's calm down with that worry. Okay. So many professionals all over the globe, all over the globe are multilingual. And we've got a question in the chat. We'll definitely bring you on so you can ask that question. Thank you so much for joining. The virtual assistants in our network are English speaking, right? Some are more proficient than others, but again, depending on the type of support that you need, it may or may not matter because you are able to communicate at the level in which works for you and your business, and whether or not the virtual assistant needs to be customer facing or interact solely with you, whether you are audible, right, or rhetorical in your exchange, or rather you're written. Maybe it's chat support, maybe it's write-ups of some kind, content development. That's totally up to you on what it is that you think you need. However, just know outside of America, so many more people speak English. Okay, so don't let English language be a barrier or think it's a barrier. Don't let time zones cause you to think that working with a virtual assistant that's not in the US, it's not a barrier. All right. So go ahead, Mark. Thank you so much for joining us. You want to come on and ask a question, come off of mute and let us know what's on your mind.
I'm just I'm just asking if I'm the only one participant here.
On this call right now, yes, it's you and I. I went ahead and started the recording so that we can make sure we get this out no matter what. Because we can always go back and provide the replay, and we'll upload the replay to YouTube as well, so that anyone out there in our network or people who are seeking this type of information and service can get this information and be more client ready and be successful as a virtual assistant.
Okay, got it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
But you're so welcome. But thank you so much for joining the call, because sometimes it's cool opportunities to get some live, right? Some live feedback on what you have going on in your world as a virtual assistant.
Okay.
All right. So we were just talking about work samples in the digital portfolio. Again, there really is no limit to the type of work samples you can provide. Sometimes you got to get innovative. It's much easier, it seems, for creative virtual assistants to produce work samples. I want to really encourage and, dare I say, challenge virtual assistants who are maybe in the general VA role, executive assistant role, finance roles, operations role, to really think about what you do and how you can make samples out of the work that you produce every day. Again, you may need to redact specific identifying information. We want to be good stewards of our careers. We want to be good stewards of our clients and the clients that we serve, their customers that we serve. We don't want to do anything to others that we wouldn't want done to us. And so when you're thinking about, oh, here is a logistics sheet that shows the 200 loads that I work every day. If you have to take out, individuals' names or certain ID numbers or, anything that would easily trace someone back to a particular account, we want to redact that. But the visual of the spreadsheet, you could totally use. And if you have to create a demo or a dummy spreadsheet, you're able to do that as well. And just put some filler information in, but the structure of that spreadsheet or the structure of that report that you pull down from whatever software or tool that you use in order to make that operational work, hey, you can use that to demonstrate that you actually do the work that you're saying, that you're interviewing and verbally seeking to pitch to the potential client or brand that you're seeking to work with. Finance experts, you use spreadsheets, you use QuickBooks, you use, Wave, you use all kinds of amazing tools to check and balance your customer or your client's accounts. Again, we want to redact any personally identifying information, yet a screenshot of the tool that you're working in, how it's set up, how information is flowed from one end to the other, how books have various line items and number figures in them, and they check and balance. Being able to show that is amazing. And again, it lowers the guesswork for the client or the brand that's seeking to work with you. Okay. Other examples that you can produce might be a blog. Let's say you're a content VA whose focus is primarily on writing. You can put short or briefs of blogs that you've published or articles that you've published or digital books and products of certain kinds that you've published, covers. You can anything that you think you want to do, videos, you can link videos to whether it's your own work or work that you've produced for a client and their accounts are still live and active and you want to have social proof. You want to say, hey, I want you to see this video that I edited and it was published and it's got XYZ number of views. Ask your client, can I use this in my portfolio and link them back to you? Most clients will say yes, because why wouldn't they want more eyes on their business? Okay, so get creative and think about how you can make the work that you do every day tangible and available to another person so that they can say, wow, I want them to do what they do for them for my business. All right. Some other parts of sample of work include customer testimonials and or case studies. Case studies, I remember back in the day, case studies, and again, it does depend on your industry. But case studies used to be these huge, thick documents that would say a whole lot about a whole lot of things. You pick a topic, what was the problem? What prompted the problem? What issues or challenges were they facing? What were some options that they had? What solution did they choose? And then what were the outcomes or results? I mean, they used to be big bodies of work. Nowadays, a case study can happen in about 5 bullets. Star, situation, task, action, result. Matter of fact, that was only 4. That was 4 bullets. That nowadays can be considered a case study. You can put, if the client allows their name, great. If not, that's okay. You can put the industry or the type of business that the client had. What was the situation when you were brought into it? What was the task that was delegated to you or that you took initiative to do? What actions did you take to see that thing through to the results that were produced, whether they were tangible or intangible, whether they were quantitative, meaning you could put a number value to it, or whether it was qualitative. A customer just ended up being happier when they got off the call with you or when they got done working with you than they were when they met you. All those things matter, and you can include case studies and testimonials from clients and or brands that you have worked with in your digital portfolio. Okay, some clients may want references. References are something that clients who are super particular, and maybe they need some reassurance. Maybe they've had some work experiences that cause them to pause and say, I see what you put down, I hear what you've told me, I want to trust you, and I want to verify your truth. Right? So references come in handy because it's the voice of the customer, a voice outside of yours. Naturally, you're going to most likely pitch your best possible self. But you're also encouraged to be honest and let clients know where appropriate what an area of opportunity may not be for you. I tell clients all the time, some things that I don't like to do are redundant data, right? Like redundant data entry tasks. I get bored with them very easily. And so I don't want those to be my sole or primary focus of work when I'm working as a fractional operations professional. However, when I'm, tasked to maybe just set them up so that other people can start using them, or maybe I'm cleaning up some type of a data tool that already exists, that intrigues me. But if I just have to enter data every day in the same place all the time, that's not going to be a role for me. So you want to think about what works for you, and how you can, articulate that, how you can visually demonstrate that in your digital portfolio, your resume, and anywhere in a self-introduction video, audio file, any format that will allow a client to say, wow, this is a person that I need with my business. Okay. Something we talked about earlier that will come back up is like personal projects. So something that I like to, this kind of again goes in with samples of work. I like to encourage virtual assistants. It is okay to speak a little bit about yourself, because who you are as a human, right, personally, and who you are professionally are not so isolated. It's great when you can get your passions, your purpose, and your provision to all align, to coexist. And it is truly possible. How do I know? Because it is something that I live, I experience, and help people do every single day. That's what this work, Virtual Assist, is all about. Helping you do work that you actually enjoy doing, that you actually want to accomplish. And so when you think about what are some personal projects that you're involved in, maybe you volunteer somewhere, maybe you do some type of a community service, maybe you work with youth, maybe you work with the aging or the elderly population, maybe you work with people who have special needs and special abilities, maybe you do bookkeeping for, a nonprofit that you're not employed by. However, their cause speaks to your heart, and so you volunteer, you provide in-kind services for that organization. These are things that you can put down. Maybe you're interested in website building, and so you just create cool website templates just because you can and you have the time. These are things that, whether you are paid for them or not paid for them, but you are capable of doing, you can list those, or you can add those as samples of work. So again, the client or the brand that you're seeking to work with knows exactly what you are able to do. Show them and be able to tell them. And again, if there are any publications about you, maybe you were featured in a podcast, featured on a social media post, featured in a blog or an article, featured in a magazine, featured in an email newsletter, featured for Employee of the Month for your full-time job. Whatever the case may be, if you have been highlighted for being an amazing human, for adding value to different atmospheres, for helping transform work results and outcomes, those are things that you are also encouraged to include in your resume. And last but certainly not least, something that you were encouraged to include in your resume would be a call to action. Invite people to a next step with you. So not if, but when you're ready to take your business to the next level, right? Those little catchphrases. When you're tired of doing it all yourself, when you're ready to stop being responsible for everything in your business. Contact me, call me, text me, message me, DM me. Think of whatever call to action you want to use. Let them know you're available and let them know how to contact you. Yes, you put your information on the cover page. Yes, you may have even put it on your resume page. Yes, you might even have it in the footer of your digital portfolio. But can I tell you something? People need prompts. They need you to prompt them on what to do next. So invite them to take a next step with you. If you have a calendar scheduling link that you keep constant and you don't change, go ahead and put that on there. If you find yourself changing it a lot, that's fine. Just make sure you update that link so that it actually works when people click on it in your digital portfolio. Ask me how I know. Yeah, I am guilty of making these kinds of mistakes because we change platforms, we change tools, we're constantly reiterating because we want to find the thing that works. We want to keep our overhead costs low, and we want to figure out what we actually like to work with best. And so there are times where links get broken because we forgot that where we had them. What does that mean? We could do a better job at doing an inventory. Maybe you're a virtual assistant that's good with doing digital inventory or digital asset inventory. That's something that you might have never thought about being a visual aid in the digital portfolio, but a screen capture of that can really work for you and serve you very well. So invite your potential client, your customer, brands you're choosing to work with, to take a call to action, to take a next step with you and your business, and make sure you have accurate and correct contact information so that when they reach out, they actually get in touch with you. Okay. Now, when you think about formatting, we talked about so many types of, of assets that you can add to your portfolio. These days, your digital portfolio. I remember when I first started in my professional career over 20 years ago, I literally walked around with a fancy 3-ring binder that had printed full color, where applicable, pages, and the interview panel or the interviewer, the hiring boss or manager would flip through the pages. Now everything is so remote and everything is so digital. Make sure your digital portfolio is aesthetically pleasing. More importantly, make sure it is accessible. Make sure that when they go to open that attachment or they click on that link, that it actually works. Okay, so have files, file types, JPEG, PNG, MP4, MP3, HEIC, all the things. Make PDF. Did I say PDF? I'll say it again because that's very common. Make sure that whatever file format you use, it actually works so that there is no question about how well you will work with and for the client and or brands you are seeking to serve. I hope this has been helpful to you as you hopped on today with us for this virtual assistant client readiness workshop that was all about your digital portfolio and what it should include. Please make sure to stick with us. We do these on a monthly basis. We'll likely increase the frequency as we get more questions and comments and inquiries about how can I get more clients? How can I be more ready as a virtual assistant? We want to make sure we're bringing you the best and most relevant information possible, not just because it's what the internet says, not just because it's what's trending right now, but because we have done this. We've been matching virtual assistants for over 4 years now. I'm a certified project manager with over 17 years of experience in project management and small business and state government. And finding people to do the things that must be done, but that don't have to be done by you, well, that's just my jam. Bringing teams together to get results is what I have done and still do for a living. It does not get old to me. I love it, and I love all the more knowing that I get to get up each day and help other independents become contributors, providers, and freelance, flexible professionals for their lives, for their careers, and to have more time to do the things that they love and with the people that they love. And so we want to make sure that you're able to do that too. So keep tuning in, keep joining with us, keep asking questions, keep making suggestions because it matters. And we want to make sure we're providing the most relevant information possible for you to be as successful as possible as a virtual assistant. Thank you so much.